Guatemala. This tiny country, located just south of Mexico and bordered by the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans, is considered the heartland of the Maya civilization. Rich with natural gifts and an abundance of beauty, Guatemala is renowned for its history and culture. Yet, Guatemala is also home to the poor, families who struggle each day in smoke-filled shacks, living in conditions that contribute to illness, disease, and a shortened lifespan. Just under 70,000 square miles, Guatemala features a mountainous terrain and an important agricultural industry, producing large crops of corn, beans, and potatoes in the highlands, as well as bananas, coffee, and sugar in the lowlands. Every family member has a role to play, working in the fields and at home to harvest and prepare the crops. Children are the future of Guatemala. Some of them are lucky enough to attend school until the age of 10, although many are pulled out at an earlier age to work in the fields or to care for younger siblings. Daughters follow their mothers in traditional roles, learning at an early age how to care for other children, weave clothing, maintain a home, and prepare meals for their families. Like their mothers, however, many of them will also grow up with respiratory and vision problems caused by the ever-present smoke from cooking on open fires in the home. Weaving is one of the most important activities in the daily life of these women. Each day, they work to weave all of the clothing for their family, and many also create garments to sell in the city. Each woman's weaving is a personal identity. The styles and colors within each garment represents family history and an individual weaver's style. It is a hard life, shortened by the lack of resources to improve daily conditions. But all of this can change. The Guatemala Stove Project has a goal to change the lives of the poor who live in the highlands of this brave and beautiful country. With your help, we can make a difference to the families in these remote villages by building stoves that improve their health and by providing them with the resources they need to make changes for their future.
Sí, hay mucho humo.
The smoke from the three-stone fire that is common in most of these homes permeates the walls, the ceilings, their clothing, and possessions. Every day, these families live, play, and work surrounded by the smoke that fills their homes, their lungs, and their lives. The effects of the smoke and fire are evident everywhere.
That's what the fire does, eh? That's what these people's lungs must be like too. Like this stuff here.
Three-stone fires are the most commonly used in these villages to heat homes and for cooking, up to 3 hours each day. The toxic wood smoke from these fires takes its toll on every member of the family, but especially the women and children who spend a good portion of each day kneeling by the flames. Along with respiratory diseases, the women are particularly prone to vision problems and premature blindness. 10% of the Maya also suffer from tuberculosis and chronic lung disease. Food preparation takes time in the remote regions of Guatemala. Corn is a primary staple of their diet and considered sacred to the Maya. It is part of every meal and is prepared carefully, using traditional methods. After washing the corn and grinding it, either by hand or by machine, the dough is wrapped in corn leaves for tamales or made into tortillas. A woman with a large family may spend up to 3 hours early in the morning preparing 80 or more tortillas to feed her family for the day. The work is long and arduous, a daily task made even harder by kneeling beside an open fire on a dirt floor. The children are at their mother's side during the cooking process, inches away from the ashes and flames. Disfiguring burns are common, as are childhood respiratory diseases and vision problems. Part of the Guatemala Stove Project's goals are to help these children by building stoves that will minimize these health problems. Many women are now used to the daily burns from cooking over tin drum lids. The Guatemala Stove Project involves many helping hands, from local masons to North American volunteers who feel compelled to make a difference. Working with a local non-profit group who identifies the families most in need, the Guatemala Stove Project volunteers travel to remote villages to support the entire process, from the purchase of supplies to the finished product. Supplies are purchased locally and then taken by truck to the village. Once they're unloaded, it's up to each family to haul the materials through the mountainous terrain back to their homes. Everyone pitches in to carry half a ton of materials in preparation for the masons who will build the stoves. Once the supplies reach the family's home, the work begins. Stoves are built to precision and crafted carefully to last. They are built 3 cement blocks high in order to make them affordable and to make them comfortable for Maya women who are on average only 5 feet tall. By getting cooking off the dirt floor, these families will dramatically reduce the incidence of dysentery, disease, and food contamination.
What's the center of the stove? There's probably not enough room.
Now, is he keeping back? Because we want to have. You don't want to hit that.
No, I checked that already. Yeah, I took a level down using this stick.
Oh, cool.
And it ends up about here.
I should be over on this side then. Because this.
Yeah, you should be coming over a little. Actually,
Family members are integral to the process, as the Guatemala Stove Project is dedicated to assisting these families in shaping their own future. Even the children help out in the process, carrying water and supplies and gathering tools for masons and volunteers. Everyone is excited, and they understand the importance of this new tool for their future.
this way.
Local masons play a key role, working with and often teaching North American volunteers to build these stoves. They are the backbone of the project, combining their talents with resources and funding from other countries. Administrators and staff of the local organizations are also Indigenous, which helps communities accept support from the Stove Project. Along with raising money for stoves, the Guatemala Stove Project also uses funds to support other needs, such as blankets and beds so children won't have to sleep on the floor, ceramic water filters, and concrete floors for safe latrines. Many of the things that North Americans take for granted, such as buckets or containers, are simply not available in rural Guatemala. Bags must be reused to collect sand to mix the cement and to gather the pumice that will be laid inside the stove. It takes 2 masons 1 day to build a single stove. The work is slow and painstaking, but carefully done in order to ensure a lasting product. Workers understand how long these families wait for their stove and want to be sure that they are as well made as possible. The stove will provide more than a better way to cook food. It will get the women off the floor, provide a surface for food preparation, and also help to heat homes during cold mornings. This stove will reduce the incidence of infant and child injury through burns. It will mean the difference between sight and blindness. It's estimated that a masonry cook stove can add 15 years to the life of these Maya women and their children.
Yes, so we can, let me just check our 16 and a half. It was perfect before.
We're 5/8, so if you can command it there.
To date, over 150 stoves have been built in the Guatemala highlands.
I didn't put any on today, just forgot.
That looks good. He's getting to be a pro star. Then you have a choice of either using tin or...
When the stove is nearly finished, it is time for the most important component, the chimney, which will vent the stove's smoke outside the home. The chimney is more than a simple vent. It is a new symbol, a tangible change to the environment within these homes. Most important, these chimneys represent a new future for these children, a chance for better health, a longer life, not just for them, but for their parents.
Let me know. Easily work it, yeah.
I know that side needs some work.
Yes.
First,
Along with new stoves, the project works with Maya Health organizations to ensure that children also receive regular medical attention as well as up-to-date immunizations.
Telecom last year.
Finishing the stove's exterior is very important. For some families, this stove may in fact be the most beautiful thing in their home, and certainly the most permanent.
Of course, now it's like it's always.
The stove is finished, but it will still take 15 days to cure and dry. Although the wait is long, the families understand the importance of caring for their newest possession. When the 15 days are up, it's time to celebrate and try out the new stove. The stove is an object, but also a symbol of permanence and hope. The families who apply to have stoves built for them understand the value of the work that is being done and know how this will change their lives. The new stove offers hope to young mothers who worry about the health of their children. It makes life easier by providing a solid preparation and cooking surface, as well as a heating source without danger of burns. Best of all, they will no longer spend each day breathing in the toxic fumes of wood smoke, damaging their vision as well as their lungs. It is a new beginning.
Dígalo con Gensia y muchas gracias por mostrarle. Estoy contenta.
Thank you very, very much for the parts that they support.
The Guatemala Stove Project is dedicated to continuing to build stoves for families who need them and support other initiatives such as safe water, beds, and medicine. You can make a direct difference in the lives of these families. Find out more today. Join the Guatemala Stove Project and change the future.